Hey everybody, Chris here. We've got neutral momentum for Dogecoin in the crypto market. What does that mean? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when the videos come out as well as when I do live streams. It is the weekend right now and volume has really dropped in crypto trading. So a lot of sideways action. Even the market makers aren't making money this weekend because things are drifting sideways. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart. We're at 14 cents, right? 13.99, 14 cents. We're right there. We're right there at support. Again, dipping into the upper 13s on each of these supports that we've had over the past couple days. Yesterday at this time was making a video and we were right at 14 cents before we had a little bit of volatility. Price dropped, taking out some longs. And then people say, oh, Chris, you always say the market makers only drop the price. Well, on Friday, we had a little bit of buying happening and the price getting pushed up. This is the market makers buying as well, bringing the price up, taking out shorts. That's right. And on Bitcoin, same thing happened here. Look at that big green candle coming up, taking out shorts. Hundreds of millions of dollars of shorts wiped out, liquidated before the price came back down. And since then, we've been going sideways. No volume. Look at the Bitcoin chart here. Look at the Bitcoin chart. There's no volume since Friday evening. We had our live stream here and we could see the volume ticking down. And since then, there's nothing. There's nothing going on. That just shows you the lack of interest in crypto right now. Weekends, we used to have some nice trading going. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's just, these are just like the trading bots here. Up and down, up and down. There's nothing else going on. Now, the bigger picture, do we have this big cup and handle? Is this going to play out for Dogecoin? Are we going to get this move up here on Sunday into Monday and complete our cup and handle? We'll see how that plays out. We will see how that plays out. But for now, right now, it's just some sideways. We looked at the crypto bubbles and we're like, it's really mixed. Yeah, we have Zcash going down. And of course, that was the core development team leaving the project, right? And forming their own company. But on the way out, they were selling a bunch of Zcash. So, and it continues today down 10%. Stacks is up. Polygon, right? The former Matic, Polygon going up 15%. I still don't know why. I don't know what's going on there. Pump is up 5%, and that's, again, they're trying to like reestablish like creator payouts for tokens on that platform, and so there's a little pump there going on. Here's Doge right in the middle, right? Doge is a little, and look at all the way up here, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just flat as can be. So kind of a mix right now in the crypto market. We got Vivek, permabull, right? Bitcoin permabull, 12-year trend support, going all the way back to 2013. Now this is on a logarithmic scale, right? This isn't just a straight price scale. This is logarithmic scale. And he's saying, look, we got support lines here, a 12-year trend. And the last time Bitcoin hit this point, it went up 400% when this happened. Tighten your seatbelts, meaning Bitcoin's about to go on another 400%. And I'm like, yeah, but this time isn't like last time. It's a totally different time, right? You can't say at that pullback in 2023 before the bull run that we're right there again. No, this is more reminiscent of where we are now, where we were in 2022 before a bigger pullback. Again, that's following the 4-year cycles. So kind of interesting when you look at it from that perspective. Titan Crypto is saying, look, Bitcoin just flashed a bear market signal. The 2-month, this is the MACD, right? This is the MACD on the 2-month, right? It just flipped bearish. Historically, similar setups were followed by 50% drawdowns. That's a 50% drawdown. We could be in the 50s if we follow this kind of move, which we last saw when? 2022. Again, I'm just here showing you what the charts are and what the historic patterns are, just so you're aware. This is what we see. And when is the last time we had that again prior? That was 2018. Again, bear market. So that's what the bigger view is really showing, more than this, right? On this logarithmic scale. So, hey, plan accordingly, right? Plan accordingly. Merlin's like Ethereum is walking into a real test. Bears want a failure back below prior resistance to reload down at $2,700. If 3,000 holds, it's a test, not a breakdown. And if you go to my X account, again, follow me on X, at ChrisPax. I'm busy over there when I'm not here. This is what I last posted. This is the chart I posted last night. Again, a drawdown for Dogecoin to the end of the year, right, the end of 2025. We get a breakout, and then normally we would see a retest. We would see a retest of that downward sloping resistance line before coming back up, maybe back to 14 cents. So this is what I would expect next week to happen. Again, not on the weekend, because the weekend's just flat, right? Neutral, right? Neutral momentum. That's on the weekend, but we will get to what could be a drawdown this coming week. Bitcoin Census says ETH macro accumulation next leg incoming, similar structure to 2016 and 2019 pre-rally phases. Unfortunately, we're in 2026 now, which would equate back to 2022 and 2018. Again, that would be the 4-year cycle approach. And that's the way I'm looking at it until it's invalidated. I get it. A lot of people talking about super cycles, extended cycles. This time, that would make it different from last time, before we had that 2021 into 2020 and then into 2021 bull run. I think that is going to be further out, and we need to get through the drawdowns first. Again, just looking at the 4-year cycles. So what does Trader Allen look like? Well, Dogecoin has begun its recovery phase and expected to complete it in 5 bars. These are 3-month bars, right? 3-month bars. So where are we right now? We're right here, right? Beginning 2026, of which Trader Allen is saying we may see a little bit of a run up and back down, and that is following what we had back here, but he's equating that to mid-2022, not early 2022, saying, well, we've already had the drawdown. The drawdown's already happened, so we're going to be kind of up and down in 2026 into 2027 there. That does make sense, and that does kind of follow a bit of what my price prediction was for 2026, which is higher than we were when we began 2026. So I think that's an easy call, but instead of this coming up, we could have up and down. And I think that's more like a relief rally and then a pullback, and that pullback may actually get below 9.5 cents, which was the wick on the October 10th pullback. But that could be, we always have the wild card though with Doge, and that would be that specific Doge catalyst that could happen. But meanwhile, right now, we had yesterday Doge fell about 2.3%. It's kind of neutral now, but this is the RSI as well, signaling a neutral momentum. This is neutral. In other words, another way of saying we're just going sideways. We're just going sideways right now. The trading volume is down to 1 billion. We were up at 2 or 3 billion. And if the trading volume is getting below a billion, that means things are really slowing down. We look at the latest here on Dogecoin, and the trading volume is below a billion now at 975 million. So these are things slowing down. We use that. We look at that number just to look at how things are going. And that's it. RSI is at 50. RSI is right at 50. That is neutral momentum. We're just right in the middle. We're not overbought. We're not oversold. we're just stuck, right? Right at 14 cents. So this suggests neither buying nor selling pressure dominates the market currently. MACD shows zero values across Signal and histogram, reflecting a lack of directional momentum in the short term. So that is where we are. The market sentiment is still kind of low. We're kind of stuck between fear and neutral on the fear and greed index. We can talk about support and resistance levels. They say their resistance is 15. I still think it's up at 15.4. Again, 15.4 would be the bottom of my red box here that we've been looking at, 15.4, heavy resistance at 15.4, and that would be the point we would see if this cup and handle plays out. If the handle plays out, we'll be back up at 15.4, fighting resistance again. On the support, 11 cent support, really more about 11.4 would be what we would look at, because that's the 52-week low at 11.4. Again, taking out that flash crash wick down to 9.5 cents. Again, we just say, look, when you meet someone in real life who holds Doge, right, there's this thing that goes on, right? And we talk about that on our live stream. And in fact, we've got a number of people who really believe this, more so. So come join live stream. Make sure you're subscribed, your notifications on, because not only do we talk about a lot about Dogecoin, right? Because Dogecoin is a key indicator of how the crypto market works, right? I know we've got Bitcoin and we've got ETH and Solana and XRP. We talk about all those. But then we have Doge, right? Doge goes up higher than Bitcoin when we're in green markets, but it drops lower than Bitcoin in the red markets. We had more red days than green days in 2025. So Bitcoin ended up outperforming Dogecoin. When we have the big catalyst, though, it can run. And at the far end, we have all these other tokens, right? Got all the meme tokens doing their thing, but Doge is the big daddy, the OG meme, which is why I like it. And Elon Musk likes it, right? He hasn't talked about it much lately, but that could be the big factor, right? In 2026, right? That is the unknown of what happens. Meanwhile, if you're chasing those other tokens, which a lot of people are, right? Because there's no money being made on Doge. Doge is just going sideways right now, right? So people are chasing these other tokens. Here's crypto autos, right? This is just one that this guy's like, great start to 2026 for autos, market cap almost doubling since January 1st. And I say, when you start making screenshots and bragging about gains, that's usually the time you should be taking profits, especially with these types of crypto tokens, because I'm guessing this autos token is going to drop back down, right? So if you're taking screenshots and you're bragging about these big gains, right, 86% in a week, maybe you should be taking a little profit, just reducing your risk a little bit. But usually the people who are chasing these kinds of tokens are gambling and are euphoric and know that things are going to go higher, even though it's already started to show signs of weakness and a bit of a pullback. So be careful out there, everybody. Be careful. Meanwhile, we're just going to stay going sideways here. This is what we got right now. The 15-minute chart is just flat, right? Just absolutely flat, right around this 14-cent mark. And Bitcoin is about 90,500. Just flat as can be. Again, no volume. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this sort of neutral momentum we have going on in crypto for the weekend? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.